Hello everybody, welcome back once again. Got another Clair Obscur Expedition 33 video for you here. This one is going to be analysis on Monoco's Act 3 weapons. Going to be doing these similar to the other character weapon analysis videos I've done, in that I'm going to start out with the lowest level weapon and make our way to the highest. And I should say that's the lowest level, or lowest initial level of the weapon, right? So for instance, the Urnaro here we're going to start out with. This one is located on Sky Island from the Chromatic Glaze battle. Also, I should say that, of course, Act 3, you're completely free to do whatever you want in whatever order you want. So I guess just keep that in mind, that you can really grab any of these in whatever order you want. But anyways, again, the Urnaro here is technically the lowest level of the weapons that you can obtain during Act 3. That being from Sky Island and the Chromatic Glaze battle. So I like the luck scaling on this one. I don't like the vitality scaling. Switch to Almighty Mask on breaking an enemy. That's great, but at least in the way that I play, it just doesn't really seem like enemies break that often. Even on, let's just say, like a mime battle, right? It's very important to get the mimes broken, but that just doesn't happen that much, where the level 4 ability would really come in handy very much. So that's fine, but it's just not really going to happen that much. Almighty Mask gives 2 AP to all allies. That's great, right? Very, very good in that it's fairly easy to be hitting Almighty Mask every other turn, right? Of course, you can do something that's going to spin the wheel 6 times, and then the next turn spin it 3, and of course that's going to get you to Almighty. So very easy to actually trigger that, again, every other turn you're looking at. So I definitely do like that, and of course giving AP to allies is a good thing. 50% increased break damage. So technically that could maybe trigger that level 4 ability more often, but again, I don't find enemies to be breaking that often. Maybe once, bosses certainly, probably once every battle, maybe twice. So I guess just keep that in mind. All right, so next up is the Joyaro. So that's the one that I have equipped here. I think I give this one my top pick. So this is from the Endless Night Sanctuary Ultimate Sakapatat battle. I love the agility scaling. I wish that this thing had luck scaling, though, instead of defense there, but, it doesn't. So, unfortunately, but you do start in Almighty Mask, which is pretty nice, right? I really like that aspect. But the level 10 ability here is what makes this thing so good. So, similar to the other Act 3 weapons, or a lot of, basically every character has one of their weapons that has this ability on it, which is 20% increased damage for each consecutive turn without taking damage, and it can stack up to 5 times, which of course is 100% damage increase. So that is huge. I really like that. Of course, you have to be able to parry or dodge to get much benefit out of this, but big fan of this weapon. Break damage is doubled when in Almighty. That's great too, right? Kind of similar though from my discussion on the Urnaro. Is unfortunately that I don't really break things that often. But you know what? That's great, right? Doubling the break damage while in Almighty Mask. That's fantastic. So, all right, next up is the Bramaro. So the Bramaro is located on the world map southeast of the fountain from the Chromatic Aberration. I do like the agility scaling on this. Unfortunately, though, it does have the vitality scaling, which I'm not as big on. Replay instantly when in Almighty Mask. That's great unless you've already got the Cheater Pictos, which, of course, then gets you, to replay instantly anyway. So that ability isn't going to be really useful. And honestly, Sprung is very, very easy to take down in Act 3. So I unfortunately just don't think that level 4 ability is that great. This weapon would have been really, really good if we were able to get it in Act 2. But that said, 3 AP when in Almighty Mask, that's great. Of course, this one is going to be, and you generally want to be getting into Almighty Mask every other turn anyway. But again, of course, getting that 3 AP is pretty huge. And then replay or revive instantly with full health if dead while in Almighty Mask once per battle. That's great, right? If some stray hit gets you and you're not able to parry it, and you end up getting knocked down, of course, you're going to be able to revive instantly with that. So that's pretty cool, too. Not that useful for me, of course, as someone who really loves parrying in this game and makes sure to do essentially every battle as a full parry. But, again, every once in a while, though, you get that stray hit, and it can be nice to not really worry about it. All right, anyways, so the next up is the Sidaro. Sidaro first is located in the Jestral village from the Golgra battle. That's the level 27 version of this. But then, of course, there also is the level 28 version or upgrade if you do within the Flying Manor, and that's from the Jestral merchant Fusoka. So great scaling here, but very odd. There are not many. And actually, I don't know of any other weapons, just off the top of my head. That's not to say that it doesn't happen, but there are certainly not many that use the might stat to scale as well, right? So this one is very, very interesting in that, but also it does have the luck scaling, so I do like the scaling here. 30% increased damage per upgraded skill used, resets on using a non-upgraded skill. So if you're able to just keep rotating, the wheel and using those upgraded skills, you're going to get the 30% increased damage. I do think that that's pretty cool. Kind of just, the only issue that I have with this is, generally I like to do the, the Almighty Mask every other turn. And so the trick with this one, though, is to find another ability, probably like a 3, or one that's going to spin the wheel 3 times, but also it has to be that one that's got that upgraded skill, right? So it can be a little bit tricky to really get good damage out of doing that, but yeah, you can certainly do it. And of course, as Monoco gets more skills, that's easier to pull off. But the base attack spins the bestial wheel to a random value. Now, I don't find that to be useful. I feel like once it's not useful at all. The random value, that's pretty terrible, to be completely honest. I like to have more controlled spins, so I don't find that useful. And of course, also, the issue with that is if you do have a couple of skills that you like to use a lot, but you run out of AP and aren't able to use that, well, if you end up using a base attack, you could end up spinning the wheel somewhere that you don't want. So I don't really like that, but hopefully that doesn't happen too much to you. So anyways, using an upgraded skill gives 1 AP to all other allies. That's great too, right? Giving AP to your allies certainly always a good thing. All right, and the last weapon that's obtainable in Act 3 for Monoco is the Chromaro. So this thing is located within Renoir's drafts from the Jestral merchant Grauer. I like the agility scaling on this, don't like the defense scaling. Start battle in Caster Mask. Now, I off the top of my head, I can't think of, really the skills that I like to use in Caster Mask, but maybe that would work, right? But I generally like to rotate, if it's possible, I like to rotate 2 skills, right, of course, to get into, essentially you're getting into Almighty Mask as fast as possible, and then every other turn, rotating into Almighty. So that's the way I like to do it, so I don't find that this one's probably going to be as useful for me, but, starting the battle in Caster Mask, okay. And then Caster Mask applies regen for 3 turns. I don't know. Again, as someone who enjoys parrying in this game, I don't find that that's useful at all, right? Because, of course, we're not taking damage if we're parrying things. So, again, not getting anything out of the level 10 ability. And then skills cost 1 less AP while in Caster Mask. I guess that's okay. But, again, I should say, AP cost reduction is always a good thing. Though, I will say, in Act 3, it's much less of an issue. With things like Energy Master, all the energizing starts, you're generally going to you should be doing pretty well in terms of AP anyway. But hey, you know what? Fine. I can definitely think of much worse weapon abilities to be having than something that's going to be reducing your AP cost. So again, I'm going to say the Joyaro is my favorite weapon here, and certainly for Monoco. And I mean, not only just of the Act 3 weapons, but of all of his weapons, I definitely like the Joyaro the most. Again, though, mostly as someone who really enjoys pairing, that level 10 ability is going to be doing a ton of work for you. So, very, very good weapon, and that's going to be my top pick for Monoco. But as always, I hope the guide was helpful, and thank you for watching.